You're on West Bremer Radio. It's 8 a.m. We've got Big Harold the H. Peacock coming up right now for historyouthere.com, and Jack Sim's going to talk about child criminals in 1927. So let's talk to the man that, historyouthere.com.
Yes.
You can,
it's a great website.
And we want more people to compete with the ARC. Send in your video onto historyouthere.com.
Exactly.
Let's talk to the historian that knows all about history of Ipswich. How are you there, Harold? And
fantastic, Danny. Yeah, the pugilistic padre in the Ipswich history. That's what is going to be exciting for us today.
But mate, these two young blokes, he's not young, Damo, but they don't know what a pugilistic is. And that's the old saying, Dad still he's a pug.
We'll just take him outside and show him what it's about.
I've already punched both of them in the nose. Oh, by the way, breaking news from our flatulence story. Mark Bailey, the minister, is going to put computerised noses into buses and trams and buildings, and you're going to get fined if you're passing wind in these particular areas.
Well, that's unusual because they're natural gas buses, aren't they? So that nose will be going off all the time.
You're a funny man. Now, listen, tell us about the pugilistic padre.
Yes, it was in 1925. There were newspaper headlines around Australia saying things like boxing parson battered and knifed in his bedroom, melodramatic Ipswich mystery, and murders and secret documents.
Oh.
And the Ipswich mystery they mention has never been solved.
Wow.
Now, it's about the Reverend J.M. Daly. He was a young, unmarried man from Ireland. He suddenly appeared in Queensland in June 1924 when he was appointed the Assistant Minister to the Reverend H.M. Weller on the Ipswich Circuit of the Methodist Church.
Wow.
In December, Reverend Daly spent a few days in Southport and then returned to his home at Bouval at around 9 p.m. on the night of Saturday, the 27th of December, 1924.
Wow.
Now, the extraordinary events that I'll describe now is pretty much how Daly himself reported them, or was said to have reported them by newspapers of the time. Now, the minister, when he got home, saw two men in his bedroom.
Oh.
One man attacked him, while the other man began ransacking through Daly's books and papers.
Wow.
The padre had considerable experience at pugilistic training back in Ireland, and so the two intruders were forced to join forces against him.
Wow.
One of them produced a knife and began slashing at Daly. The knife tore through his vest and grazed his chest, but fortunately the wound wasn't deep. Daly was pushed against the door and the knife was buried into the wood, just missing his head.
Wow.
Daly lurched onto the bed when again the knife just missed him, slitting the pillow and the mattress.
Ooh.
While Parson continued fighting one man, the other smashed a wash basin down on Bailey's head. And as Daly fell to the floor, he managed to call out to his neighbour, Mr. Kentish. The neighbour heard the cry for help and ran to the back of the house, shouting out Daly's name. Both assailants then fled just as one was about to almost certainly stab Daly to death. Now, two police and an ambulance arrived at the house, but the preacher refused to talk, insisting that he regarded the events as his private affair. However, when Mr. Kentish had first arrived, Daly had muttered, "They can't get the papers, for I haven't got them here." Now, Daly then disappeared for a period following the assault, still refusing to talk, even to his boss, the Reverend Weller.
Wow.
Now, alleged incidents from back in Ireland began to be reported in the papers. It was said that Daly had come into conflict with a powerful organisation which had influence around the world. Danny, it could have been the Illuminati.
Oh.
Daly's sister and brother had been murdered. A persecution against Daly had followed him with unremitting fervour here to Australia.
Wow.
And prior to the Bouval assault, when Daly had been lodging at Newtown, his room there was ransacked and documents stolen. And the two men at the Bouval assault had actually followed Daly home from his holiday at Southport.
Wow.
Now, there could be some truth that dark forces in Ireland were behind the events. Because Ireland had just come out of 3 years of war, with the Irish Revolution, followed by the Civil War. And we now know that a cousin of the most infamous woman in the Irish struggle was living at Southport at the time that Daly was there. And that woman was Kitty O'Shea. She was an aristocratic Englishwoman whose adulterous affair with the Irish nationalist leader, Charles Stewart Parnell, led to his political downfall and, in fact, changed the course of Irish history. Now, I've searched and metal detected the site where Daly may have visited. I found bullets and coins dating from the period, but nothing that could definitely be linked to him.
Wow.
Now, months after the attack, Daly made his last reported public appearance at the Ipswich Town Hall. Then disappeared from public record just as suddenly as he had appeared 18 months earlier. So who he was, or what was the motive of the Ipswich onslaught, may never be known. The three men who knew Danny, they never talked. So it's a mystery to this day.
And tell me, where did you go and use you found bullets with your metal detector?
Yeah, found bullets from spent bullets from a World War I German Luger. And they were commonly being used in the years after the war in the 1920s. So certainly from that period, the bullets, the Luger bullets, and the coins.
Wow! You found the shells. You didn't find them.
No, the actual projectile.
Really?
From the bullet.
Wow.
Yes.
Now tell us, when you're going to put this on your website, and we want people to support us, we'll give away a great prize, but you just got to, do the and send it through on historyouthere.com. What about this story? Where are you going to upload it, download it, and load it?
Yeah, every Sunday morning, new stories, and this week, of course, this story about the pugilistic Padre from Ipswich. That's going to be uploaded to historyouthere.com, and a bit more detail and some pictures. It's a mystery that needs solving, so hopefully we can get some help from our listeners, Danny.
Well, we need as much help as we can get, but we really are letting our people, our listeners, know about local history here in this great little town. Did you know that the Esso service stations opened in Australia in 1962? I just thought I'd tell you that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was before I was born, but I remember hearing about that. It was a big day.
Remember the song?
For the Esso people.
S-O-S-O, ooh, that kiss. S-O-S-O, ooh, that kiss. Anyhow, good talking to you, Harold the H.
Oh, hang on.
Hi, Peacock. He is exclusive to this program at 8:26 on West Bremer Radio.